It's story time. Today's story is called The Happiest Tree, a yoga story. In this story, Mina is playing a tree in her class play, but she is scared she will ruin by tripping and falling. One day after a visit to the grocery store, she sees a group of people in a yoga class. Soon she is learning to breathe and stretch and make herself still. As her class prepares for the play, Mina worries she will stumble and ruin the play. Will she be able to use what she has learned in the yoga class to become a tree in the play? Let's read and find out. Mina was excited about the class play. Mina was excited about the play her class was writing, new and improved version of Red Riding Hood. She laughed out loud when they decided that Grandma would chase the wolf. She liked figuring out how the story would end for the woodcutter, and she loved painting the sets, until she spilled the paint. "It's okay," said Mina's teacher, Mrs. Jackson, but Mina felt terrible. Do you know what the word improved means? That means they made it better. So they wrote a new and improved story of Little Red Riding Hood. So they made it better. Do you know what sets are? It's the scenery for a play. So the decorations, the background, those are called sets for a play. When the class chose parts, Mina pretended she wasn't interested. I think, Mina was pretty excited about changing the play. I think she pretended she didn't want a part because she was afraid she would fall and ruin everything. "Mina, everyone gets to play a part," said Mrs. Jackson. Mina shook her head. All she could say was, "I can't. I'm too clumsy." What does clumsy mean? Have a hard time controlling your body. That means you might fall down a lot or you might trip a lot. It's clumsy. Mrs. Jackson would not take no for an answer. "Of course you can," she said. "You can be a tree. We need lots of trees in the forest." Soon it was time for the first rehearsal. What is a rehearsal? Yeah, it means to practice a performance. They were practicing their play. Walking onto the stage, Mina hoped she wouldn't stumble. She hoped she wouldn't trip. But then she stumbled. She tripped. She almost fell. "Mina!" groaned the other trees. Mina wished she could fall right through the stage and become a disappearing tree. At dinner that night, Mina dropped. "I'm the worst tree in the world," she said. "Why?" asked Mom. "What happened?" Mina told her parents about the rehearsal and how she had tripped and stumbled. "It's all right, Mina, Ronnie," said Mom. "It's just that your arms and legs are growing really fast. That can make you feel clumsy sometimes. You don't have to be perfect," Dad added. "Just try your best." "I'm perfectly clumsy," Mina said sadly. The next day, Mina and her mother went to the Indian grocery store to buy rice and flour and spices. There was so much to see. Mina whirled around looking. "Careful," cautioned Mom. "I'm being careful," said Mina. She leaned forward to look at a little brass bell. A bag of rice toppled over. What does it mean to topple? Yeah, it means to fall over. It's all right, said Mrs. Vora, the owner of the store. Let her look. She gave Mina a piece of mathi to munch on. The spicy flavors of the crumbly snack danced in Mina's mouth. Thank you, Auntie, said Mina. Mrs. Vora was everyone's auntie. Suddenly, Mina saw something that made her fall gupchup silent in astonishment. Do you know what astonishment means? Surprise! She was surprised. Through a window in the back of the store, in the room beyond, she saw feet. They rose up into the air. They stayed very still. Then they slowly went back down. That's one of our yoga classes, said Auntie. Would you like to join my children's class? I'm too clumsy, said Mina. Clumsy schmumsy, said Auntie. Just try it out and see, no? Mina watched the window. Now hands rose up in the air. Mina raised her own arms. She joined her palms over her head. Oh my, Auntie, you're doing better already. So Mina agreed to sign up for the yoga class. Yoga class was not easy, but Mina tried her best. She breathed slowly and deeply. She stretched like a rubber band. Let's do the cat pose, said Auntie. Breathe in, arch up, breathe out, down, breathe in. Mina breathed in and out and arched her back up and down, and then she lost her balance. Her foot shot out and nearly hit the yoga cat behind her. Now the frog pose, said Auntie. Down on your knees, sit back on your feet, knees wide open, bend your body forward. Mina bent her body low, but when she tried to put her hands on the floor to rest on her lily pad, she fell over. Mina stretched and breathed her way through the yoga class. Auntie told her what she did correctly and helped her with the difficult parts. Soon Mina could breathe deeply and make herself still. Her feet didn't shoot out so much. She didn't topple over as often. Very nice, Mina, said Auntie. Mina felt golden and warm inside. After practicing yoga, Auntie tells Mina that her yoga pose is very nice, and this makes Mina feel golden warm. She must feel proud and happy to be moving so carefully and smoothly. During rehearsals for the Red Riding Hood, Mina tried to be still and quiet, but her feet had trouble staying rooted. She kept looking around. She laughed at all the funny parts. She wanted to say the lines when her classmates forgot them. Mina, stay still, said one of the other trees. Only your branches are supposed to move, said another. Shh, said a third. Mina tried her best, but it was hard keeping her arms and legs from moving around. In yoga class, though, Mina's arms and legs learned to work in smooth, slow movements. She stretched out flat on her stomach and kept her feet together. Then she propped herself up on her arms and raised her head, turning left, then right, in the cobra pose. One day Auntie announced, "We're going to try the tree pose." "Oh no," cried Mina. "I'm a terrible tree." Auntie looked puzzled, so Mina explained about the class play. "I understand," Auntie said, "but a yoga tree is different. Just take a deep breath, hold it for 2 seconds, ik, do, and let it go." Mina began to relax. She rooted her feet and raised her arms. She breathed and breathed. She calmed down, and her worries went away. After a few weeks, Mina found it easy to breathe slowly and deeply in yoga class. One day, when all the children were sitting in the class in the lotus pose, a thought lit up in Mina's mind. I can change my body by how I feel inside, she realized. If I am quiet inside, my body will be still. That's what yoga is really about. Mina hugged her thought to herself. It filled her with gladness. She imagined herself standing tall and still, growing roots in Red Riding Hood's forest. On the night of the performance of the new, improved version of Red Riding Hood, Mom and Dad drove Mina to school. Mina and her classmates put on their costumes. Mina's sweatshirt and tights were stretchy and soft, but her tree branches tickled and her roots scratched. "Don't worry, Mina Ronnie," said Mom. "You'll be fine." "We know you'll be a great tree," said Dad. "On stage, everyone," Mrs. Jackson announced. "It's time to start the play." That was when it happened. As Mina walked onto the stage, one of her branches snagged Red Riding Hood's cloak. What does snagged mean? Yes, it means torn on something that stuck out. So this is the Red Riding Hood's cloak right here. It's a coat with no sleeves, and it got snagged on Mina's tree branches. Through the curtains, Mina saw the audience gathering. She found Mom and Dad. She spotted someone else, too. Auntie had come to see Mina beat a tree. Mina knew she couldn't hide, so she started her yoga breathing in and out, in and out. She got so quiet, she could feel her heart beating. Then she stood up straight, in her best tall tree way, raised her arms high, and took her place on stage. Never mind those silly old roots, Mina thought. She would grow her own yoga tree roots right into the floor of the forest. The curtains opened up. The curtains opened and the play went on. Grandma chased away the wolf. The woodcutter became a recycled paper salesman. And Red Riding Hood wrote a play about her scary day in the forest. Through it all, Mina took deep breaths and let them out. She was still when she needed to be still. She moved slowly and carefully when she needed to move. Best of all, she knew she could do this again, anytime she wanted to. Mina was the happiest tree in the whole forest. I wonder why Mina thinks her teacher refuses to take no for an answer and includes her in the school play. Yeah. Mina works hard to practice yoga and keep her body still. What else can Mina do to calm down when she feels nervous or clumsy? Yeah, she can breathe. I wonder how yoga helped Mina calm herself in the play. What do you think? Do you think you could use these techniques yourself to calm down when you get all worried or anxious about something? I think it would be a good plan. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time.